Have you been feeling lately like your grind is driving you crazy? Like there just isn't anything big to shoot and you're wondering where all your big animals are? I was feeling exactly the same way, but I have figured it out. And as you can see by these two monster moose, we don't have that problem any further. So in today's video, I'm actually going to go through everything I do to set up for the moose grind and share with you exactly what I did to fix my very broken grind. So I am going to encourage you to stick around right to the end of the video for two reasons. Today's video will include a wealth of information on the moose grind. I am going to share a keyword at the end of the video. Drop that in the comments for your chance to win a 1 month membership to the channel, and let me know in the comments where you are watching from, and we're going to head straight into it. So right now I am up here at this lake right here, right above the big lake. This guy right here, he spawned first, so I thought I'd shoot him on stream with you guys. So I left him and I just shot the other moose when I did come to the zone, and this guy showed up very quickly. Now last night I sat here shooting moose for quite a while. I managed to shoot 50 moose and I did spawn 4 diamonds and 50 kills. I think that's pretty good, but to start off with, let's shoot these guys right now. Now when I'm doing my moose grind, what I actually carry with me most of the time are 2 300s. I have the Frontier and the Marshes just so I have 2, and the reason for that is if I don't get a good shot and they end up running, I may need more than 4 shots, in which case I can just cycle over to the second 300 without taking the time to reload and continue shooting. I do have the Apex View binoculars. I'm carrying the Quist Red Pro electronic collar and the regular manual moose collar, and I do have tents with me as well. Now I am using the pack mule scale, so I do have an extra 3 kilograms worth of space because the Red Pro electronic collar weighs 5 kilograms, and I don't actually need it. I just want to use it. It's new and I think it's pretty great. So let's start off with these two bad boys. Now, by shooting them at the same time, I could mess them up, but I'm really hoping that's not going to happen. So this guy could break 300. Looked good. Come on, baby, drop. Yes! What about the other one? Where'd he go? Well, I assume we got him. This guy's gonna go splat momentarily, and he's gone. Now, I have recently just moved tents so that I do have pickup tents, and that really speeds my grind up, but that's not how you start a grind. That's how your grind is going to end up after you have been doing it for a while. So the very first thing you want to do for any grind is find all of your drink zones first. Now, for moose here in Medved, you should have about 135 to 140 drink zones, somewhere in that ballpark. 298.87, very close to 300, but that is a gigantic moose. What a stunner. Now, right now I am only grinding on 7 zones. Let me show you. Let me just check, make sure this zone is still shot down, and it is. Hold on. I gotta know what happened with the other moose first. Okay, here he is. Oh, what a beauty. Is he big enough? He is 285.58. He's definitely big enough. He is a pretty nice one. Side-by-side diamonds is pretty sweet. All right, so I'm taxiing in the hopes that we're going to get new lodges soon because I need them badly. If you guys want new lodges released as a new DLC, let me know in the comments. Like, please, customizable lodges. That is what I want from EW so very badly. Okay, so let me show you which zones I am grinding right now. So I'm down to 7 zones. I'm set up on this zone right here. Sometimes I have 2 tripods because sometimes they hang out up here, sometimes they hang out down here, sometimes they can be out front. So I have 2 different distances with which to shoot them from. That's my second zone that I am grinding right there, this zone right here, and then on the ravine, I'm grinding this zone here and this zone down here. Then I have this zone, but this one is inconsistent. They don't always respawn there. I find they respawn about every 3 rotations, and then one more, and that is this zone down here, this one right here, and this zone is now shot down. We will go and have a peek there, but there's nothing to shoot there. So that is what I am rotating. Those are my main shooting lakes. I am using herd management. This is kind of a herd management video. I'm just going to put that out there because I am using herd management on my moose moose grind. But you definitely do not have to use herd management in order to spawn a moose great one or any great one. Will it give you more diamonds and probably bigger trophies? Yes, it will. It definitely will. Is it a lot of work? Oh yeah, it is a lot of work. So let's go up here. Okay, so you'll notice when I come to my zones that I do have fairly nice big moose. We have 2 level 4s here, and the reason for that is because I am using herd management and all of the other moose drink zones on my map have been shot down to mostly level 2s and very small level 3s. Now the reason for that is when you have a huge amount of very small moose already on the map, the game is going to spawn bigger moose for you in order to maintain some sort of balance in the game. So basically what I'm doing is I am shooting only level 3s and above, and I am leaving the small 3s, just pretend they're 2s. If they look like 2s, just treat them like they're 2s. I do this at all 16 of my zones when I am starting out, and when I get to a zone and I find nothing but small moose there, I will pull my tent and tripod and set up at another zone. I continue doing that throughout the entire grind until I am just left with my main 6 to 8 shooting zones, and then you can pull your tents, put them at your zones, and then you have pickup tents, and then you can just continue grinding at your last 6 to 8 main shooting lakes for the remainder of your grind, and there is no need to go to any other zones because they have already been shot down. Now, moose are class 8 species, so you don't have to use a class 7 to 9 rifle. If you don't have the 300, probably the next rifle I would recommend would be the 338 bolt action. You can also use the 7mm bolt action. You can use any 4 to 8 rifle. You will get integrity. You'll just probably have to do a little more tracking than if you were using the 300 or any class 7 to 9 rifle. So I would recommend carrying 2 rifles, your daytime apex view binoculars. If you're trying to fix your grind, you definitely want to be carrying tents. And if you can't fit tents, then just carry 1 rifle while you are fixing your grind. So I'm going to tell you what I did to fix mine. 207, and he's not bad, and a 242, and I did not get a hurt shot. It was just his time to go splat. Okay, so it is past the end of moose drink time. So when I am past the end, I like to do a time change. Now, I would recommend doing your time changes from tents because it will save you 25% in the cost from using an outpost. So I like to change the time to about 14:45. Now that is very close to the end of drink time moose drink from 12 to 1600. But by doing that, I find I get respawns a lot faster and they are just in their zones. But often what will happen when you first change the time or just when you change zones is this is what you're gonna find. Absolutely nothing. So this is a trick that I use when this happens. This is the 1 minute trick, and all you want to do is go into a tent and put the time forward by 1 minute. Now it is expensive, but as you can see, it works like a charm. Now it doesn't work every single time, but it does usually work, and it is worth it to me to spend a little bit of money to be able to continually keep shooting and do it quickly. Now unfortunately, I do have a little guy spawned in here, a 2. I try not to shoot 2s in my grind. I don't think they're going to help you a whole lot with spawning a great one, but when they do spawn into main shooting zones, I do shoot them, and that is what this guy has done here. So we're going to take this level 5 and we're going to shoot this little 2, because if I leave him there, he will be there forever, and that is not what we want. Okay, 246 to 300, and he's going to pull in. I'm going to throw my collar down here. Now you could just use the manual collar. I just like this guy to step out so I can shoot him. Okay. These females, man. Would you please move? Now, when you come into this situation where you have one moose that is broadside and one that is showing you its butt, this is actually perfect. Take a broadside shot, and this moose will turn and give you the opportunity with a second broadside shot. So here we go. See? Turn for the perfect shot. And we got him. Okay, so here's the little guy. 87, that's embarrassing. And how are you doing today, my buddy? Oh, 1 shovel. He's probably a troll. Oh, he's not! He's not a troll. 277.76. He's not a big diamond, but he is a diamond. Well, that is awesome. And that is a funky diamond moose. Awesome. And we have one more level 5, and he should be at this zone right here. Now, as far as setting up with tents and tripods, this is a question I get a lot. What I do is when I'm setting up, I put my waypoint right on the drink zone, then I run in the opposite direction, and I drop my tent exactly 250 meters from the zone, and I drop my tripod anywhere from 175 to 200 meters from the zone because I want to be able to run straight in there. This one's a little closer, but because it's close, often I will walk at the end. Okay, there he is. 280 to 333. We have a guaranteed diamond. All right. Looked good. Was it good? It was good. And we got the big boy. So right now we are at 993 kills, 1,000 kills basically, and I am hoping we're going to see that great one moose very soon. Well, we know he's not going to troll us. Okay. Oh, yes. This is the rack that normally trolls. I don't have a diamond of this rack. Yes! Normally, when I see these shovels, I expect it to troll, but I had seen that a friend of mine had a diamond with these shovels, and now I have one. So that is really, really cool. I'm definitely taxing that guy. And that is our 4th diamond so far. Not too bad. Very cool. And he scored 280. That's pretty good. And a gold. So let's have a look at the codex. So we've got two back-to-back diamonds. I have been getting quite a few golds. A lot of these would be gold, but I'm just putting extra shots into them to kill them faster. I'm not too worried about whether they score gold or silver. I just want them to spawn a great one. Okay, so now I am at the bottom left-hand corner, and I only have one male here, and it is a 4. We'll go for a heart shot and splat. Now, shooting moose in the heart is a lot of fun, and it eliminates a lot of time tracking because moose run pretty far even with a vital shot from the 300. So if you have the opportunity to take a heart shot, it is going to save you time, and it is a lot of fun. And just keep practicing those heart shots. You will get really good at them as you do your grind. And there is the shot, and he is a 218. So what I actually did to fix my grind was rerun the entire map, and it did take a very long time to do. I didn't do it all at once, but when I came to a zone that I had previously shot down to have all small moose and found bigger moose, I definitely shot them out of there, and I did set up with the tent and tripod, but most of the time when I went back and looked for a respawn, they just didn't respawn. So that way, those bigger moose went back into my rotation and ended up at the zones that I am shooting at, and I don't have these bigger moose all over the map. I'm trying to condense them just to my shooting lakes. Now, also by doing this, I ensured that I wasn't missing any zones. I did find a couple zones while I was out looking for bigger moose. So now I am satisfied that basically all of my mid to large moose are at my main 7 shooting lakes. So basically I rechecked the entire map. When I did find a zone with bigger moose, I set up with tents and tripods, and I did shoot those moose. When they did respawn, then I just set that up as another main shooting lake, and if they didn't respawn, after I checked a couple times, I pulled my tent and tripod, and I continued moving. Okay, and at this zone, we have 2 medium-sized level 3s, which is perfect. So those are all the zones where I am visiting all in one rotation, and that is what I am finding. Now, I didn't get 4 diamonds in one rotation. I did leave them there, and we shot them all at the same time. So with the exception of that, I'm gonna have to use a collar. I left it, so that's okay. We'll use our manual collar. So if you have been doing a grind and you are stalling and not finding anything very big, what I would recommend doing is checking all the other zones on your map. Bring your tents and tripods. When you do find moose like this, set your tent and tripod up, shoot the moose, and then try and rotate on that zone and see if you get respawns there. And if you don't, you can pull your tent and tripod. I usually leave them there and keep checking that zone for 3 rotations after that because they don't always respawn immediately. And once I am satisfied that I'm not going to get any more decent respawns to that zone, I will pull my tent and tripod because we don't need to visit this zone anymore. Ooh, that was not. Oh, what is happening? Okay. I got a tent. I'm gonna deke him out. And he went down. Now, if you're just starting a moose grind, you want to find all of your drink zones, bring your tents and tripods with you, and set up on your best zones with your biggest moose as you are discovering your zones. Set your tents at 250 meters and your tripods at about 175, and you want to set up on 16 drink zones with your 16 tents, and then you want to shoot the 3s and above. Now, you can just shoot all males, and eventually a great one will spawn, but by avoiding shooting the little guys, I really do think you're going to get your great one sooner. Now, I can't prove that. We don't actually know if herd management speeds up the spawning of great ones. We don't know for sure. So that was one rotation. Now, if you are doing a rotations and all you're finding are small moose everywhere on your map, just continue going to your zones and shoot through it. That's what I would recommend. Shoot the little guys if you have to. I have seen instances where I've had 2 level 2s. I've shot them and come back and have found 2 level 4s the next time. But shoot through it and just check your entire map. By doing that, you should get some big guys back on the map, and then just make sure you're set up on your best zones and keep on shooting. So let me show you my very best moose trophies. This is my first great one moose. He is a common fur. Second one was also a common fur with the spider rack. This is my favorite rare. This is a Mela moose. He's a 233. And then this beauty is a fabled ashen. I actually managed to get him with a heart shot with the recurve, which was completely insane on my part. I don't know what I was thinking, but I did manage to get him. And this is my absolute favorite great one out of all 18 that I have spawned so far. This is a fabled birch. Took him with the rhino, and he has the typical rack, and oh my gosh, he is my absolute favorite. So now I am after a big rack and a split rack. That is what we're trying to spawn, and of course a super rare. A dude like this, but just a little bit bigger with the diamond emblem would just make me so happy. We're gonna keep shooting until that happens, and I really hope that does help you guys in your grinds. Now, if you did enjoy today's video, click right here to learn how to set up a grind using herd management.